Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some 2D 4X like I do most weekends, though I think I might stream a different thing here soon. I have a bunch of projects that I never work on. I don't know. I'd say I'm going to work on them, then I don't. This is pretty much the only project that I regularly work on because I stream it. And I'm just forced to work on it because I say I'm going to stream every weekend and then, I got to do it. And then I don't make as much progress that I want, and then I complain about it because I didn't work on it. So yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking, this has nothing to do with the stream, but I was thinking about this earlier this morning when I was walking to coffee or something. When I quit drinking, I was bored all the time. And it was like, and I knew that was going to happen because I had, not drank every night before, but just not for like, it wasn't like a serious, like, oh, I'm going to quit drinking type thing. And I knew that it would be excruciatingly boring. And so I was like, I'm going to start streaming and do all this stuff to like fill up the empty time of being bored. Because man, when you suddenly you have something that takes up your time drinking, every night, and suddenly you have free time, it's like, what am I going to do? So I was like streaming every night, like for multiple, like 6 hours. No, okay, not every time for 6 hours. But then eventually I started becoming okay with being bored again. And so there we are. Now I'm like, I don't want to do anything except sit here and just stare at the wall. And so all these projects, well, I had the projects before, but yeah. So anyways, I have a lot of excuses for my ability to do nothing, or the fact that I am doing nothing. Anyways, what are we working on today? So today we are working on still moving these people, and I actually ran this because I want to remember what I was doing. 2D 4X it's a video game inspired by like Paradox Games and Dominions and other games like that. But we have these provinces here. They're counties. Officially, they're counties. They're not real counties. This is the real, like this is cut out from a map. But they're too small if I went that big. And also when you get to, I was about to say the Midwest, but look at this, even Idaho here, they get really small. But we're calling these counties. And, it's one of the map painting type things. Oh, I forgot to click these buttons over here. I was yammering about being bored, and then I forgot to click the buttons. Here we go. There we go. They're all clicked now. And that's my chat. Stickleweeks, how's it going? I actually have a story for you, specifically for you, so I'm glad you showed up. But let me finish what I'm yammering about here. So, we are working on moving the heroes, and their subordinates shouldn't come with them if the subordinate is in this activity that's called recruited. And I couldn't remember where we were, so I played the game up into that point, and I started to move, and we got a bug. And it's pretty obvious what the problem is. I'm trying to mess with this list while I'm foraging through it, which you can't do that. I do that all the time, and then I wonder why it doesn't work. So we're going to fix that. It's not very hard to fix. And I hope that's the only... See, I put this note in here just in case I forgot like what I was doing 20 minutes ago. All right, so I have a story for you, Single Wings. I have a mail account that I use to sign up for stuff. I actually have 2 different mail accounts that are like for the junk that I get. Like my junk mail emails, and I was in there for some reason during work the other day, and I noticed one of them, there was all these like Twitch people I follow go live, and one of them was one of yours that go live that said, Lord Haywire, don't raid me. And I was like, what is this? And then I looked, and it was like, I noticed there's another one too, and then I was like, when did he go live? And he went live like 40 minutes before, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to totally see if he's still streaming, and then I'm going to start a stream and raid him immediately. But you're already gone. So that's my story. So I think it would have been funny, but probably I was sad. And then I've been like trying to keep an eye out, like while I'm doing anything, like just like I'm just gonna start a stream and like I would have like my like I'd be watching TV show or something and that just pause it and then start and then raid. But yeah, anyways, Lord Mac, how's it going? Um, let's put a temporary list in here. We gotta have a temporary list. So yeah, it's like the I wouldn't be able to resist it if it says like the don't raid me. It'd be so hard to not raid you. Um, yeah, like every single time I look for someone to watch on Twitch lately, there's been none. I follow like a ton of people now, and none of them are around. What is this list? Is this a list or what is this thing? It's an array. Why are we doing an array? Yeah, I'm watching Lost. I'm rewatching Lost, and it's not as good as I remember it at all. I think we can do this with a list, though, even though it's not a population data. Even though we just need a temporary list. People to remove equals, and then we'll put in here people. Yep, exactly. And then we'll cut this. And then we'll go down here and we'll write a new method called remove people from subordinate lists. Yes. Yeah, and I'm actually pretty disappointed that Lost isn't as good as I remember it because I've always been, I'm one of the people that I hates everything, so that when I run into something that I like, I'm like excited to oh, I like that show. You guys should watch, and I've been telling people that, and now I'm wondering if I should have been shutting up. I think one of the issues is that it doesn't work as a binging. Like you can't like it worked better when it was on TV and you had to wait for episodes. So you kind of like forgot a little bit and you're like, oh yeah, but now I'm watching them one after another and there's like filler episodes, which are definitely like just in there to stretch the time and it's just, oh shit. You know what I just did is I copied that stuff and then I deleted it. We can get it from GitHub because I'm lazy. I had it on my clipboard to use for later and then I Control X'd my way out of it. We did not push to main. Yeah, and I feel like there should be new TV shows that are good, but I just keep going back to the same thing. Pretty soon I'll watch The Wire again, just because I've watched that 400 times, and I know it's good. I don't want to take chances, I guess. I just want to sit in my house, do nothing. What are we doing here? This is the recruiter. But the recruiter's a public class, so he should be in here. Recruiter. And I think this is at the very bottom. Yeah, it was just this stuff right here. Just this right there. And paste. Population data. We got to for each this thing. For each. Yep. Look at this. We got to pass in this. Wait, what are we doing? Yeah, we got to pass in this population data too. Because it's, no, it's not. This is going to be the hero that we're taking this stuff. We're adding and removing this stuff from the subordinates from. And we need to add in population data. Is this the right person? Yes. All right, now we can run it again. Sulking? Are you sulking? Uh, a sit and stink around. I do like sulking. I feel like sulking is when your feelings are hurt or something, right? Um, I also, I like to put off things. I've been putting off returning these boots that I was talking about on my Discord. That they put the buckles on the inside of the boot. I'm still shocked how that passed like their quality control, like how that even. And it's so crazy that I keep looking at them like, have I lost my mind? The Jordans, I have not. I need them though, right? Um, but yeah, and so I've just been putting off returning those. Those things were $300 for boots and they also look like clown shoes. I looked at them again and I was like, what's going on with these boots? Besides the buckle being on the inside, which is obviously wrong, they also look like clown shoes. Like there's just something like pretty bad about it. Okay, so we have one person on recruited, Victor, and oh no, we have two people, Victor and Anthony. So that's what we want to test here. So we can do it. We just spawn this person, then we right click, and we didn't get a error in with both of them are set to idle. I don't remember where I just clicked, but I thought I clicked on my own thing. And this is this right? That's a rhetorical question. I don't know what just happened to my voice there. Yeah, $300 for shoes, and the boots that I normally wear, the company that makes them stopped making them. It's been a thing every 5 years or whatever I have to buy them. It's always like a chore to find somebody who sells them. So let's see. Oh, okay. So this worked. So that, except it says 2. No, that should be the same. That's right. Because you still want the people. Let's see if they start recruiting once they get here, just out of curiosity. He did, or they did. Sarah did. Okay, so that actually works how we want. Now we just want to make sure that they move. They actually move with the person. So we'll let them recruit 2 people. We'll speed up the time. We'll let them recruit 2 people. It looks like they did. And then we'll double check to make sure that they are on service. So there's one more person here that needs to go to service. And we definitely will want to put like an icon here to show if they're under recruited. I just don't want to do it right now. We've been stuck doing this forever. Let's see if this recruited ever goes away. We'll just give it a couple of days. There's no announcement down here. Maybe we should put that, but I'm just going to ignore it. A couple of days have passed. Okay, they're both service. Evolve, thank you for the follow. How's it going? So they're both service. So then let's move them back and see if they go with them. I think we already did this part. Oh, we got a stutter there. So here, they did not go. George is still in here. I wonder if, yeah, they didn't go. What was their name? George, Young, and Dennis James. Oh, is he not actually there yet, though? No, he is. George. It's really, this list starts to, because service also starts with an S, it starts to get kind of annoying to read. Okay, so I thought we already did this part. I'm wondering if we only did the test only worked because when we were testing it before, if it only worked from like the starting location and there's something else that's broken. Are we getting an error? Oh, we're getting errors, so that would probably be part of the issue. Faction data. Oh yeah, we were getting this error. I forgot about this. I think that's when I was like, I'm done working on this for today. Last weekend. I was like, yeah, I don't want to fuck with this anymore. I think I was already pretty close with. I think I was gonna try to hurry and finish it, and then I was, I'm done. All right, so let's figure this out for real though. Is this the same thing where I'm fucking with a list while I'm in the list? Let's take this comment out here because I took care of that. We just did that. Maybe I like a space there after all. Yeah. So when does this happen? Let's restart this and make sure that it happens right away. Or not make sure, but we'll be paying attention to when the bug happens. Yeah, so I returned those boots. I still am shocked. I'm tempted to go grab them just so I can show you guys how fucking insane this boot thing is. Because it made me question my sanity. I was like, wait, is this how boots are? No, it's not. Okay, so at least we got somebody who can recruit quickly. We'll speed it up. Okay, maybe we just got lucky. All right, we got 2. Wait, no. I thought it was the same person recruited. Got whatever. We got 3 people recruited. Did that happen on the same day? That shouldn't happen on the same day. We'll recruit all 5 just for the fuck of it, because it's easier to tell. And we have 21 people on the list. Albert's recruited everybody. We can check now. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to see if it says service or not. I mean, I guess it's a little bit. We're definitely, when we redo this, when we beautify the whole game, we're going to want to have some icons and stuff, I think, that will differentiate all of these. Because this looks like, sure, it's fine as a chart, but it kind of starts to turn into gibberish, kind of, you know what I mean? Like CK3, I'm imagining CK3, well, we're definitely going to have to add filters, and we're going to make this clickable so it will resort. Because a lot of this is, you want to look at someone who has like a high lumberjacking or whatever, and going through and being like, okay, 48's the highest. Oh, here's another 48. Wait, there's 3 people with 4, and I was thinking about like how CK3 does it. They have like the pretty graphics and stuff, and they also have filters. The whole thing will be interesting. I actually don't like how CK3 does it. I find it weird. I don't like to see how CK2 does it either. I don't like any of it. But anyways, we have some people on service. So this people who, let's make sure everyone's recruited. I guess we should have just done 2 people. But we'll make them all, or sorry, they're all into the service thing. We should also, I'm going to put a note in. We definitely want to have an alert at the bottom that the person has entered. We need something to say that they're no longer recruited and they're now entered service, because right now while I'm waiting for it, I'm like, how do I know that this shit is happening? You know what I mean? Come on. So under activities, I think it's way at the end here. Oh, except that happens every time. Isn't that nice how this thing jumps around? Alerts is what it's called. When a subordinate it changes from recruited to service, there should. This isn't an alert though. This is something else. We'll have to move this. When a subordinate changes from recruited to service, there should be an event log. I mean, I guess we could just write it right now. That could be one of the things too. It's always, do we just do it right now, or do we do it later? And the issue is that if I do everything that I saw it go by. I saw it flash by. There it is. If I do everything I want to do immediately, we'll never get done. We'll never move forward at all. We'll be stuck. We would still be stuck on the first thing. Whatever I did first. The top bar, we would still be doing that 2 years later if I did everything I wanted to do. I don't know what the fuck is going on in the background here. Did that go? Okay, it got into the right spot. All right. So can we go back to testing this? Are you going to work here? Did we service? Oh, we still got one guy left unrecruited. Who are you? Virginia. There was another thing I was thinking about. I've taken a lot of I've not even written and don't plan to a lot of the manually picking of things for the player. Like the player can't pick exactly who they're recruiting. I do want to have it so that they can fire certain people. Like let's say they wanted to turn Tina into a army recruiter. Oh, didn't work. It should turn these buttons off. Tina, you're in service. You're supposed to turn your buttons off. Are all these people have that problem? You know what? I bet you it has this problem because it's only was checking for recruited at the time. Well, good thing I was going to explain what I was going to do. And anyways, so I think you need to be able to fire people because what will happen, specific people, because you need to fire them from service to be able to hire. But I wanted certain things I don't want the player to be able to control because I want that to be like part of the fact that they're living in this like sort of at the beginning, like an anarchist commune type thing, where people are deciding on their own where they work and whatnot. And like laws, maybe we can put laws in where it would change. You could pass laws and you can do certain stuff. But firing people, yeah, exactly. And you could change it so you have more. I feel like there's like with Victoria 3, certain laws pass and they don't have. Yeah, exactly. I feel like certain laws pass in Victoria 3 too, where it doesn't seem to do anything, or they do not what you want. I want more. Like if you want to run a dictatorship, you can make that in this game, and then like have granular control. What the fuck am I doing here? First off, I do need to put in a note that thing is not working right. I closed the ticket, and finding it would take too much time, so I'm just going to open a new one. Buttons for leader and aid recruitment show up when the subordinate are in service. But so the reason I was bringing up the fact that I'm taking away some player agency is that I think that that's going to piss off some people. Some people are going to be like, why the fuck can't I just do this one? Is it really here? Okay, there it is. Yes, it was right there. But there isn't, there's nothing I can do about that. So then let's move this person. So when we right click, when we spawn them and right click, it shouldn't take these people out until he reaches his destination, because we don't have an in-between, and I think we're going to want to do an in-between. I was putting it off, and I thought about writing once again, like, should we just do this now, where there's like an in-transit list, but there isn't right now. They're in here until they get to here, and then they're in here, which is kind of like actually CK3. Yeah, so that worked that time. So I wonder what happened with this other time. What did I do differently? Yeah, see, these people are all in service. They're at the end of the list, which is fine, I guess. This is the hero. 19. Young hero. So what went wrong? What did I do differently? That's the problem with testing sometimes. We need unit tests. Is that something changed. Did I recruit? I looked at some people. What was the thing that we wanted? We wanted to remove people. There was somebody was okay. All right, so somebody was in the recruit phase. Let's fire all these people, and then they should all be fired in the morning. I don't know if the morning passed. Okay, they all got fired. They're gonna all be in this place now, and so that's kind of a weird thing that the player could pick up people and move them around that way, which I don't know if that's good or bad. That's how you have to do it in like Heroes of Might and Magic in the good old days. You couldn't have troops without leaders. You know what I mean? Look at this fucking. This is too much. All right, we recruited one person. Let's recruit a couple. All right, we got 2 people. One's in recruited. They're both in recruited. So I think we need one person in service and one person in recruited to test this. So we'll like let a day go past, and then we'll see. See, this is not useful that I can't see if they're recruited or service right there. I keep checking. Service. Okay, so Virginia's in service. Virginia should go. Douglas should stay. So if we right click here, we don't get an error yet. Douglas has been booted out. Let's double check that. Douglas is idle because they've been like, no, you're not ready yet. We got to go fight a war or some shit. So Douglas is idle. So now we're the one person. Okay, this is when we're getting this error. So when is this happen? So it's when they arrive. Remove Huron subordinates from starting county. Oh, right. I remember now. So last time what was happening was there was some confusion over where the hero was when they got certain places. So we had to run it in a certain order. So where is this? And I thought we had it, but it's obviously we don't. So where we did this whole thing, we already went through this whole thing where we went to look to see where the hero population, the population data for the hero has 3 things in it. It has destination. This is where he's where he's going to, and it's an int. So it looks at this. It's using this number right here, like 0. 0 is Cowlitz, whatever. So that's the destination that has their current location, which is called location, then like last location, so that they can know where to return to if you tell them to go home. They go home to their last location. So it has those 3 things, and one of these is passing in the wrong thing, I think. It's saying, well, let's look at this error more closely, make sure that I'm... let's just copy this. Error. Get faction data from ID. So it seems I have a faction problem. It's the faction ID. We pass it an int. That is another list that we have right here. It's all the same thing. It's going to get it from here. And then the faction, depending on which, except, is that how it does? Well, let's look. A lot of this is we wrote a long time ago. But I remember I was fucking with this one last stream. Faction ID that is trying to be used. What do we got over here in our output? Well, I mean, besides all these errors. Cannot open file. Cannot read file. Excuse me? What? Oh, is it reading this from disk and did I move something around? But this, the thing, it's native calls. So where is this getting faction parents get child ID? It's trying to get 4. 0, 1, 2, 3. Faction ID that's trying to be used. Well, that's not going to work. There aren't 4 of them. Faction of destination county, the shipbirds. So that's right. Faction ID that is trying to be used. Where am I what am I passing through here? Because obviously this ID is wrong. It can't be 4. Am I passing through something dumb like I'm passing through the... where was that? It was here. Okay, so here's the problem. We passed it through the wrong thing. We're passing through the location. So the answer to my earlier question is yes, it was something dumb. Faction data, faction ID is what we want here. So this is dumb too. All right, so back when I was using Unity, also I posted something on my Discord. I guess Unity is trying to fuck people again. Back to fucking people. But back when I was using Unity, it would say like, don't do this because basically population data has the faction data of what data that so the population data has inside of it the faction that it's in. So, and then inside the faction data, there's a list of all of the population. And so it would say, it would be like, no, this is a circular thing because you could go into that list and then you could find the faction data that this population was in. And then that in that population, there would be a faction data that with a list, and that list had the population in it. So it's a circle. And so you don't want to do that shit. And so I came up with this like faction ID idea to get so that it wouldn't do that loop of things. And then at some point when I switched to Godot, Godot doesn't give a fuck. Godot's like, I don't care. You can do all the loops you want. And so there's a problem somewhere, and I'm guessing that the loop thing is bad. That seems bad, right? You know, like it seems bad to have a loop like that. And so maybe I change this. Why is there a gap here? So I don't know if I want to fix this. I should just not care, right? That should be until it tells me to care. Until somebody tells me to care, I'm not going to care. Sorry, I'm laughing at my own joke to myself. So anyways, what we could do is just get rid of this thing and just be like, here's your faction data. How about that? Because it's way easier just to have it attached. I think the other thing that I was thinking about as well is having too much data. And what I mean is like every population has a copy of, not a copy, a pointer? No, it's not a pointer. I don't know. Somebody tell me what I'm talking about. It's got a thing in it that the faction, so every population has it's not a copy. It has a thing in it, so like it might be using up a lot of data. All right, let's redo this. I wonder why it didn't have a problem the first time. Oh, because we happen to be going to the right province. That's funny. So it worked the first time because we happened to be going to this one, which was the same number. Is that right though? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It shouldn't have not worked here either. 0, no, it's 0, 1, 2, 3. No, that's the same. All right, let's recruit some people. We're just going to wait until some of them. Oh, we waited until they all were recruited was the thing. Of course, we're going to get this. Somebody who sucks at recruiting. All right, we got one recruit. We need another one. Come on, man. Get your act together. They're even getting a bonus. Jesus Christ, you suck. Did you get somebody? No, you suck. What is your leadership? Yeah, leadership. 14. Even with all those bonuses, you suck. Okay, there we go. One person's recruited, one person's in service. Perfect. We're going to spawn the person. We're going to right click. We haven't got any heirs yet. You're going to run over there. We didn't get any heirs. There's 11 people there? That seems like a lot. But there's only the one person in service. We should have left behind the other person. I should have double checked what their name was. Actually, I think it will tell us. I think it will tell us that we don't want this one. A lot of people getting set to idle over there. I don't remember what their name was. So let's just recruit some more people. That's the way to test it, right? Is just recruit some more people. And the person should, Ashley here, should already be on 4, yeah. So we'll just continue recruiting. And it says recruiting over here, so that's good too. Everything seems to be working okay today. Let's double check that we have some more people. So we have 1 person in service, 2 persons in service, 2 in recruited. That's good enough for our test. Let's move them to some place that we don't own. No, we'll do that next. We'll go to here and see if we get any heirs. I kind of really like this little arrow thing. I didn't think that that was going to turn out that good. I mean, I know it's just a fucking dashing and whatever, but it actually seemed to have worked out all right. So we have the 2 people in service. This is perfect. The people, I didn't look what their names were, but they were left behind. There's only one that's idle though, because they probably immediately started scavenging. So let's do this again. We'll recruit 2 more people, and then we'll move them over here and see what happens. And that will be enough testing for now. Recruited. I need another person on service. So I think we definitely are going to need, no, I mean, this is not even a conversation. We do. There's going to have to be some things that happen. Some beautification. Are you getting there? All right, you're done. Are some of your people service? I guess that's fine. You're going to go to here. Then what happened? Did we plop them into their population? We don't want to do that. William Baker. Oh, we can't look at this list. That's on purpose. We can test this though. We can look. We can look right here. We just got to go to remote. Who owns this fucking place? AI Faction 2. AI Faction 2. We need your... What? It says all this faction datas are empty. Oh, they're up here. I do that every once in a while where this throws me off, but this is the real thing. This is the whatever. Faction 2. We need the counties this faction owns. We are in the first one, I think. we need to look at Conrad. How's it going? I'm doing good. I played your game, by the way. Uh, while keep I keep telling these stories while I was working my day job. I have questions about it. I didn't play that much, and I meant to go back to it. Um, and I thought it was awesome, by the way. And the way I was coming up, I have questions about your stupid game. No, I just got to check. I got to check this thing first. What are we checking, anyways? We need to see their names. So we need to see if William, they're going to be at the end. So Judith probably is the very end. Well, I'm just an IT guy on my day job. But it's like I'm not supposed to obviously be playing video games while I'm working my day job. And what always happens is I'll be like, um, I'm always like, I'll just take a quick break, and then immediately I get like a phone call or something. I'm doing good. My project's doing good. I mean, it's slow going because I don't put that much time into it. Judith Edwards is in this list, and they're not supposed to be. Judith Edwards. Yeah, and so let's make sure I'm looking at the right list. We're already looking at Judith, but are we on the right list? Judith, go back. They should be in the visitors. No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't be in any list. They should just be in this visitors hero. So yeah, there's something wrong. So when we look at the population, we can't look at this population because it's a enemy province, and I want to write like a method that works better than how I currently do it, but I just haven't gotten like a way where I can turn off testing, like so I can look inside of it. And I just haven't gotten around to writing that thing. But so we can't look in here, but these people shouldn't have been dumped in here. So we got to fix that. And I think we started to write that, but when they reach their destination, if it's not the faction, that's why we had that one thing that's here. No, but we have an error somewhere. Did we get a bug for that? So anyways, my questions about your project. Is like the rhythm thing, is that a game? Is that a thing? Is that a type of, I've never heard of that before, and so I'm probably just out of the loop. Because I was actually, I liked it. I like that I'm throwing away something. Yeah, like, is that a type of game, like, where you have to, like, click in time to something? To a metronome? Metronome? Yeah. Crypt of the Necro Dancer. So I was wondering if there's like a dance thing too, but I assume that, you're not expected to dance for that because you have to have like something to step on. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, and I actually was like, I was like, is this like a genre of game that I'm just out of the loop on, or is this like this guy's come up with something new? He's stretching he's innovating. So I don't know. But the thing I had, I'm actually gonna bring it up because it's just easier. The comments I had. Let me bring this thing up because I'm old and whoops. We're just loading. You can hear the sound because my sound's off. All right. So the only question I had, can I pause it? I can't pause it. It's so because I'm old, I was having a really hard time not just staring at this part down here. So this part, the part that you're supposed to click to, like once you get the beat down, you're fine. Well, okay, maybe you're not fine. I couldn't do it. So when I was actually in the game, the crosshair is pulsing. Oh, it is. All right. Well, then that answers my whole question. That was literally it. I was like, it wasn't a question. It was an observation. But I didn't even notice that that was pulsing. I know it's really small right now. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. Uh, was that there? I was hoping that there was another way to do a visual representation of the beat thing because I was staring at the beat thing and not my character. My character's getting fucking annihilated, you know. But you know, like I said, I think it's great. I think it's kind of fun to get the bonuses built up as you build up your continued I don't know, meter. Descriptive terms are not working well for me today. Yeah, well done. And then the other question I had, because I didn't get a chance to play that long, um, does the beat change later? Does it like change up and pretty soon you're like going like, because I used to be a bass player in a band and that's what part of it I was like, I kind of wish it was, you know, would like change up later and you're like playing a different like bass tune because it's kind of like the bassy part. Like it's like a beginner bass line, you know, like you're like the one finger like along and everyone else is having fun and you're just doing the bass line in the background. Anyways, that was it. Well done. What are we doing? The people are being dropped off, and we don't want that to happen on places that we don't own. So that's going to be in here. So let's see. This one, oh, we did it right this time. So this is the local faction. We did this right. I gotta start my music again. Oh, that was also the first time I played it. The first time I played it, I was working my day job. That's why I brought that up. And when I work my day job, I listen to music. So I muted your game and started playing, and I was like, "There's something wrong here. What am I doing wrong?" And then I was like, um, I was like, "I bet you the problem is that I have the game muted." And so then I turned off my music, and then I got a phone call, and then I played it again later because I was curious, you know. Um, well, I'm not really a musician. Um, change later. Each area will have a boss. Oh, nice. Are you're not a musician? I assumed the minute I started playing, I was like, oh, a musician wrote this. Um, let's see. So we have the destination. I think these are right. We're passing in the county data. Yeah, when I used to be in bands, it was like the other musicians would just like point for me. They'd be like, "Put your finger there. Now hit the second string." You know, then hit the third string. So I don't really count as a musician. Um, so if this is less than or equal to 0, or local faction data. Oh, this is wrong. Only played for free drinks. That's still that. I mean, that counts, man. I've played for less. I've played for no drinks many times. Um, I've tried to think all the failed uh, shows. I mean, they're not necessarily failed, but yeah. Yeah, I have a drum set behind me that I should. It's on the other side of me. That I should probably start. There's the symbol for it. That I should probably learn how to play. That's a friend's drum set. Um, Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. The borrowed one. Man, if they'll ever, uh, the real owner. I was actually thinking about her earlier today too. I hadn't seen her in years, and I said let's get the band, everyone who's still around to like hang out, and I looked at her and she looked so old, and I was like, man, I must look old too. Like just the we're all so old. We're old just working day jobs or sellouts. So this is wrong. This needs to be. So this is the local faction data. We're pulling this from the population, which is wrong because we need to know what county. So this should like and then we compare the counties thing, not the because this is always the hero always is because we move the hero around. So this should be destination county. I don't know if we have a county data or faction data in here. We don't. You know what we have though is the ID. I think. Okay, I'm wrong. Oh, because this is county? Why are we doing that? All right, let's go look at this thing. Um, violin. So, violin, like anything where you have a bow. No, you're not. You're totally not distracting me at all. I am pro the talking about everything else besides what I'm working on. Um, Anything with a bow like blows my brain that people can play it. Also, I think real violins, I guess real basses too, don't have frets, and that's another thing that I like. I'm very impressed by the fact that when people use instruments without frets, I know that's it's probably like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like skill level 3. 10 being the highest. But yeah, so this county data doesn't actually know where it is. Doesn't know what faction owns it. Um, and I think I've been able to get around this the whole time, like been sneaky. Um, and Joker, how's it going? I know it's a Joker. Did you see that video of that leopard eating meat out of the crocodile's mouth? I think it was a leopard. I don't know how we want to do this then. So the county, I don't think the county has any information. This is county. Was I just looking at this? County data. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't control click my way through to there. There we go. Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing. County ID. Faction data is in here. All right. So it was the county. There we go. That's oh, we don't need this anymore. Am I ever going to use that method I wrote? Okay, so this was the problem. So let's double check that I'm doing this right. Local faction add, so this is the local thing that we're adding. This is the destination county, which we passed in. We're getting the county data. This seems strange, but it seems to work. um, I guess it's not really a rewrite. Sort of a rewrite. I gotta change this music that you guys can't hear. It's bad. Reverend Horton Heat. Yeah, no wonder it's bad. There was this time period in San Diego where psychobilly is what it was called. It's a genre of music. It was like really popular. Like everyone walked around with greasy hair. You guys are probably like, what the fuck is he talking about? And Reverend Horton Heat was one of the bands that was like part of this psychobilly thing, and it was just suggested on my. You mean the '80s? No, this is this is way after that. Um, all right, so we got to do our recruiting thing, but this time what we're gonna do is we're gonna pay better attention before we move into this, because we'll just be able to tell and see if the population thing goes up, and I just didn't pay attention to that last time. And I'm gonna take a break in like 5 minutes here. We can speed up time so we don't have to wait so long. I just need to wait for a couple of these people to get recruited. That looks good. We got 4 people. Are they service? We only got 1 service thing. Yeah, we definitely probably will want to be able to sort by activity too. We'll just hang out for a minute, let them become more serviced. Service. Okay, so we have 4 people service. Were we recruiting 4 people or 5? Okay. So if we head from here now, this number should go up by 4. It should not go up by 4. That's what we're trying to avoid here. If we did this right, that should go down, and this did not go up. So that is correct. Man, every single one of these that I've looked at today from last weekend was wrong. I guess I wasn't paying attention to my own code when I was doing it. I wonder if there's like a classic psychobilly images. No. These look like punk rockers. Oh my god, look at these. The chicks all look like psychobilly, definitely, but all of the, this haircut I don't remember ever seeing. That might be like the modern psychobilly thing. And in fact, it looks a lot like that is. Maybe this is all one band has done that. It was like the greaser look. It's interesting that that's changed. And I guess psychobilly still exists. I figured it was dead. All right, we fixed that. Button for, okay, so we got to figure out why this thing. Oh, this is done. We did this. Close. I read a comment that said you were able to use curly braces on GDScript that since they did nothing anyways, they were eventually removed. They are full of hellish shit. You downloaded like Godot 1.0 or something. Is it still out there? I think one time we talked about this. This is now working. This is done. We just need to fix some stuff, but we can get to closed tickets here, which is good. Set a limit based on leader. Okay, that's going to be the next thing we work on once we fix this problem. You can use Steam to go back. Wow, I didn't know that. I mean, I knew it was on Steam, but I didn't, like, you go to the betas or whatever. We got to figure out where this was. This is under. Actually, it'd probably be easier to find it up here. Recruit hero, no, population description control. We added something in, and it's probably the same thing is not working. I think actually it's probably we didn't have service invented at that time. Show default, update hero recruitment, but here it is. If it's not equal to this, or service. Yeah, service wasn't invented. What's your problem? Merge in a local pattern. What the fuck does that mean? Doesn't like that. Remove if statement. What? It's like, no, get this whole thing out of here. I knew there was going to be I knew there was going to be a better way to do this, but I don't think this because I was like, this is pretty, like, you can't say whatever. Let's see. Let's ask Chat GPT. Then I will uh, make this better, please. No brains. I turned on brains the other day and it just made it take forever. Um, is always true. Oh, right. Okay, all right, yeah. And a switch. I don't want to do a switch. If your goal is to check that the activity is neither, use and. All right, I do that all the time. Where I use or instead of and. We can test that in a second, but I am gonna go take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, let's turn this thing off, and let's play my music here, and guess we have to test this. Should be easy. We gotta restart this though. All these panels and labels and shit. A lot of stuff there. Gator Boy is the best. Your fascination, love of the gators is there any other animals? Let's hear about the other animals that you guys like. I know Joker likes gators. Like a lot of gator love there. Okay, so we've recruited a bunch of people. Okay, 4 people. And we got you in service. Boom. Boom. Do we have a recruited person? Boom. Let's make sure that you can be recruited. Perfect. So that's fixed. Did you sell it flat? Fuck Friday. What? What is that? I we can close this one. And let me see. Let me look at this. Copy link. Is this something that I can show on stream, or should I not show this on stream? I gotta pause my music. Oh, it's a sports thing? You guys can't see what I'm looking at or hear. What I'm seeing. Yeah, I don't follow sports at all. Another one? Copy text. I don't want that. I want to go over here. Let's see here. Copy link. And I think, wait. I think, did I see this on Crystal Mess's? This is definitely not. Get out of here. Safe for work. Did I see this on Crystal Mess's stream? Is this what made you love the Gators? Those were crocodiles. No, those. Where were those? How do you tell the difference? Stinkawinks, he knows. The reason why I think he knows is because he's in Florida. All right, we need to have a limit. And I was thinking about this limit. Do you have to like go up to them and touch them? Because sometimes that's like identifying things. You got to get too close. Let's see. Set a limit based on leader charisma to number of subordinates. I got to think about how we want to do this, because I do want you to have a lot of, to be a lot of leader. You should be able to recruit lots of people, but there does need to be a limit depending on leadership and charisma and perks. Let's see. So what we could do, let's look at this bonuses. Let's look at the bonuses real quick. Well, not that quick. Heroes, we don't need that one right now. I see your video, Stinglewings. I'm half ignoring it. Just to keep moving forward here. Sorry. We'll look at it. We will. Maybe. I'm indecisive. We need to look at attributedata.com, attributedata.cs, attribute data. Okay, so if they had a really low charisma, they could. That would we probably. Oh, we'll fix this stuff, I guess. Got to be fixed eventually, right? Reddit. Uncountable strength shouldn't have. This is used for such things like needs where. What do you want to do? High mental strength would give a bonus, sure. Missing punctuation, you want a comma. Loyalty is set. Oh, that went away. You want a comma. We got it. List all, you want to get rid of the ofs. List of all the okay. So I think we should add in the tribute bonus. So we have two different ways to do bonuses. So we take this bonus if there's ones and tens, basically. And when we pass this in, yeah. So we have a bool that we pass in that it divides this number by 5. So you can get like +4, +3, +2, +1, or a negative number. So that would work with the charisma bonus. We could also pass in the leadership bonus and give the same bonuses because it's a skill. They're not compared to each other. They're just different types. So we could also give this same bonus. So this is the thing. We want it to be high, but we don't want it to be 50. Well, maybe we do. Maybe like if you're an army leader, you would have it like 50. 50 people would be kind of outrageous in this game, though. Like it would be later on. It wouldn't be that bad, though. Late game, it wouldn't. Having 50 wouldn't be that crazy. Yeah, you know, I haven't seen Crystal Mess streaming lately either. Like I keep saying, like every time I look on Twitch, there's nobody. It's the weekdays, and normally there's like weekdays while I'm working. A lot of times I'll just like listen. You know, I'll lurk to streams, and you know, turn that off when I get. It can. I'll turn off the sound when I get a phone call, you know. The guy that I had do construction at my house commented one day about he was upset about something. I'm beginning to wonder if he had a stroke, and that's like it changed his personality. But he was upset about something, and he said, "Well, all you do is sit and watch Twitch all day for your job." Oh, was he on like vacation or something? And I thought that was, I was like, I guess that's what it probably looks like, because Twitch would be up on one monitor, you know, while I was doing work on the other monitor, and then you know it's like it's one tab and a bunch of tabs, and so I would, if I needed to access the other tabs, I'd just go to the other tabs on the monitor. Okay, so. This is what we need to do. I think that will work for now. We might have to adjust it later, and I think one of the ways we can adjust it is we can give them perks. So we can have so some of the perks I think will have negative perks and positive perks, but some of the perks will have the ability to get rid of the perks and add perks to people. So we'll add a perk in at some point that gives a bonus to the number of troops you can carry, like a +10 or +20 or something. So we'll use the tribute data and we'll apply those bonuses. They'll have like a base rate of like 10 or something. And we'll apply those bonuses. And so if you have a low charisma and a high leadership, it would kind of even out. And if you have it high both or both low, you could even get into the negatives. So there, if it's a negative, then there would just be 0. I think that's the way to do it. And then we'd have a perk, and we currently have one perk that's leader of people that will give you a bonus of like +10 or something, +5 maybe to start with, because we can adjust all of these perks. We have a perk data thing. Let's see what info. Okay, so we have a +10. Leader of people gives a +10. I don't remember what else this gives a +10 to, though. It gives you a +10 to recruiting as well. So we might have to bust out and like the perks and have them different, like have more smaller perks that do less things, have less effects on things. Yeah, bust it out into two things. But right now we'll just use that +10. I don't want to mess with this because I think we already thought through this whole +10 over there. I never checked to make sure that YouTube was working, and it is. Okay. What's going on with this thing? Why do we have this set to 0? Shouldn't it always be 0 when we intify it? This also has an underline on it. Oh, we have my music is on again. Damn it, I did it twice now. That's twice. It's Fugazi, the name of that. Yeah, the last time I forgot to turn that off, I noticed that my Twitch video was muted. You're not allowed to play music. I know that some people do it on a different channel. So it was, they have like a different channel so you can hear the music, but I think it would be weird when it gets to YouTube. YouTube doesn't give a fuck because my videos aren't monetized. If I monetize my videos, I think they would give a fuck. Yeah, I know they would because someone at work monetized one of our videos. I have no idea why. And, it has 2 views and it got a copyright claim immediately because they used copyrighted music. They would take the monetization. Well, you can look up songs and they're like obviously uploaded just by some random person. As long as they're not monetized, I don't think they care. All right, so we gotta create this, and maybe we should we save it somewhere or just calculate it every time? We should definitely have a method that calculates this. There is, so the spot that I'm thinking where we put this is in this. This has the cap in it because that's the only place it matters is right here. Except I guess the AI will have to access this too. So we can put it in the population data, which is kind of out of control at this point, though. The population data is, I don't have it open. No, yes, I do. It's kind of huge. We could put it in the recruiter. Yeah, we'll put it in the recruiter because it's how many you can recruit. So let's write this method here. Wait, what happens? Stinkwings, what happens if you tag the song? We'll put this at the bottom. We'll put this as, no, it's public, static, void. Oh, but it doesn't, I was thinking that maybe like, it would stop copyright claims or whatever. It definitely does that for video games. When I used to stream video games, they would almost always have the video game already populated in there. I'd have to pick occasionally to fix it. Get number of get max number of recruits. We're gonna pass in a population data, and oh really, the whole thing, the whole playlist? Uh-huh. In were you monetizing your videos? Okay, so for this, we're going to take the population data. We're going to need a couple of things. So we're going to need an int that's max number of recruits. No. We're going to need the population data dot I bet you weren't, because otherwise I feel like they're hardcore about it if you're trying to monetize. I think that's what I've figured out over the years. Then they're like all over your shit. And like I said, this is recently they closed our account. My works account, because they're like, you got a copyright infringement and you didn't do anything about it, because the person who set it up was ignoring the emails that were coming from YouTube that were like, you can't monetize this. So we actually need this we're going to return an int as well. Yeah, we're going to return an int, and we're going to get, I think we have, I think it's under attribute data, actually. Get attribute bonus, and then you manually pass, having a hard time saying P's today. Then you manually pass in the attribute that we want. No, that's not what I want. I want an enum. I want all my enums. Attributes. Charisma. Am I doing this wrong? What do you want? You would like all sorts of stuff. The attribute level. And you would like true. And then what was this last thing? Negative? No, we want false. So there's a rare occasion when you want the opposite. So that's what that negative is. Okay, so we're gonna get let's break this down into smaller chunks, I think. We'll do, because last time I broke it down into smaller chunks, it made more sense later for me when I looked at it later. I was like, because I had like 3 of them in a row, and there was one that was all broken down, and the other 2 were just gibberish. So we're gonna get this, and then we're gonna get leadership bonus, and it's gonna basically, we're gonna use this attribute thing as if the leadership was a tribute, but it's actually a skill, and we need to have all, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Skills, leadership. It's kind of nice when things sort of work out. You know what I mean? Amount, attribute, skill level. What's metadata? I don't even know what metadata is. True, true, false. No, just true and false. And then the last thing we're going to get is we need the bonus from the perk. And I don't remember, that's probably in perk data. I don't think we did it here. It seems like it should be in perk data. Perk data. Every node can have metadata, can assign in the inspector and access and code. How would that help me right now? Get perk bonus. It's right there. We already wrote this shit. Leader of people bonus. Oh. Oh. Perk. No ads? Yeah. It's not, I mean, I guess it could be worth it. I feel like did we test this for if you don't have the perk? Oh, we did. We fixed this so that it tries to get the value now too, because we didn't for a while. What perk are we passing in here? Oh, we have to do a population data, huh? Okay, we can do that. And then perks leader of people. And then I hit delete on accident instead of end, though neither. Then in here we will put return. Can I just have all these just plus? Yeah, there we go. And then what we will do, leader of the free world bonus? Well, depends how you run your country. I guess it's a country. So on here, we need to test this. This would be a good spot for a unit test, actually. But we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to put this directly into our thing here. Counties. It's counties, but there's factions, but I haven't actually come up with what I'm going to call the whole. I mean, they probably are countries. I mean, I don't know. If you only own like Portland, can you call yourself I mean, I guess Vatican City is a country, right? So for this, we're gonna have to. How do we do this? Let's look at this. This is a spin box, and what we want to do is put a max right here on this spin box. Maybe we should put this number in here somewhere so that the people, like the player, can see the max number. Vatican City is a city-state? Yeah. But is a city-state a nation, a country? It is, I think, right? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to put a number here to show. I really didn't want to mess with this, but I think we don't have a choice. You know how I did it? How did I do it with resource goods? I just made this number the max number, which is not how I want to do it. There was another. I thought I did another one where I had a slash, a third slash. That's not clickable. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll mess with this. Let's stop this. Let's turn you on. Yeah, there probably are like bunches of little things that don't, like, aren't officially certain things. You know what I mean? Like, we can bump this down one, but I think I'm just going to put. Let's just put another slash behind this. Just who gives a fuck, right? Like, let's not spend so much time on every goddamn little detail. We can deal with the details later. Sounds like a bad idea. What is this thing? This is what we want. We can duplicate this label actually. And then we'll put this, oh, come on, here. And then we'll put like 69, just so that we know that that's not a real number. I was, 420. Should we do a slash in front of it though? Let's see how that looks. I feel like I said, it's just I get stuck in the details all the time. I get the minutia overwhelms me, and we just work on the one little thing forever, and nothing ever gets done. I mean, things get done, but it just doesn't. Yeah, that's good enough for now. That's actually exactly what we want. I mean, obviously not the number 69. So we have the ability to get this number. We need to put thing here because we don't have enough variables here with labels and shit. So let's add another label that is right here. Let's see, what is that? We want it underneath the subordinates one. Export public. Why are all these public? Are other things fucking with this? Public or private label. Max subordinates label. Thank you. And let's build this thing. I'm so glad we figured it. Well, I didn't figure it out. Whoever that person was on GitHub who figured out Godot's issue there. So glad that they did. It's so nice not to see those errors pop up all the time. So then down here, we need to add. We need to rename this thing though too. Max number of subordinates. No, that's not going to do me any good. We'll go from, oh, we have another thing here. What is in here? Nothing that, yeah, sometimes I've noticed I do that. I add like a script somewhere and I don't actually think it's, later on I don't actually keep using that script, and so it's like this weird side script. Where the fuck are we, right? Okay, so then back to this, not this, back to this when we open up the populate equipment, update number of subordinates. So this one probably should be in this other script, but do I see? I need to come up with a, okay, I do. I need to come up with a standard and stick to it. Yeah, so this label actually should be over here. Not over here. That's why there was nothing. I was wondering, like, we sure don't have very many things over there. And this is private, so that makes more sense too. Update number of subordinates, number value, update subordinates on open subordinates, clear subordinates. That's something else. I think right here is good. Updates max subordinates. And then we're going to, we have that thing that's in recruiter, I think. We're going to go max subordinates label text equals recruiter dot. Oh, you know what it doesn't? It does not equal that. It equals $, space dash squigs. Get max number of recruits. We need to pass in a population data, which we seem to have right here. So good. All right, so that is that. We need to drag this over to the correct script though, because we put in the wrong one. It should be right here. Maybe. Then we also, let's GD print. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just run it first. See what happens. We're actually knocking some shit out today. I know it's a couple of minor things, but we're very close to... Okay, that did not work. We're very close to... maybe I dragged the wrong... number of subordinates label... update... Oh, we never put this anywhere. We need to have this be called over here. Where did that thing go? Right here. Subordinates. Okay, all right. Did I make it private? You know, Writer has a thing where you can just make it private, like without having to go through and I love it. Look at these ones. We're all passing in a population data, and this one we aren't. Are we saving this population data somewhere? I guess we are, huh? I am. Like, there's a lot of things. There's actually one thing that I really don't like. It's the search function, the double shift thing. I don't like that. And Control F, the difference. And I looked up different ways to do it, and I guess there are some other ways to do things, but none of them are the way I want, which is the old Visual Studio way. Did we not restart it? Let's see here. Come on. What's up, buddy? 12. 12 seems like an okay number for this person who gets a plus 10. Let's look at their leadership. A 50. So a 50 would get them 0. A 50 would get them a 0 bonus. And then their charisma is 74, which would give them a plus 2. So that is correct. So 12 is right. Let's see what happens if we run it again, and we'll, fingers crossed, we get somebody with shitty stats. Because we actually need to do a min of 0. We don't want a negative number in there. 8. Charisma of 61 is going to give him a 1. No, I think it's a 1. Leadership of 11 is going to give him a negative 3. I mean, obviously it's got to be a negative 3. So with this particular person, let's look at, well, we can't look at anyone else unless we make him a hero. So let's find somebody who's just dog shit. 13. We can't see their stats here. Oh, here, this person's a 3. Let's recruit you as an aide. Negative 3. So they're also unhelpful. So not only though do they not get the plus bonus, the bonus for this perk, they're getting a negative 4, and then their prison. Yeah. This is perfect. So this is going to make it a lot more when you're deciding on who you want. I mean, a 3 leadership would be horrible because you're not going to be able to recruit any. Like, even if this number wasn't here, it's going to take forever to recruit people. And so that's what, back to like the perk thing, what we can do, let's say that for some reason we're not going to have the negative 3 there. We're going to make it a 0. But let's say for some reason you do recruit someone for this and you want them to be a leader, whatever. Let's say they had I don't know, crazy intelligence, and they're a researcher most of the time, but occasionally you want them to have guards and stuff. what we'll do is we'll have them be able to learn perks at like some sort of, we'll have some building that you can build, like a school or something, a university where they could go in there and they could learn like basic leadership or something, and it would give them a +5, or whatever. And that would help adjust this so that late game, when it should be like, when there will be like 50, 100 people fighting in your battles, you can have someone who's trained to do that. So yeah, I think that will work pretty good. Why are you guys all idle? Oh, because I haven't run the game yet. I was like, oh shit, something's broken. But no, it's fine. When I was offline and I was fixing the clock, and I was like, I'm waiting for this to finish my thing. I was like, how is it 1? The only options are 15, 30, and 45, and 0. And I was like, oh my God, there's some bug that's still in here, but that's manually typed into there just for the beginning, and then the code updates it just when you run the game the first time. Because I didn't like how it looked, I think, when it was all zeros, like everything was zeros. It looked like something was broken. But that 1 goes away. All right, so we did that. I'm actually stoked that was so easy, except we need to get rid of the 0. So if we go over here and we say, actually not there, we go to the recruiter, and I don't think, maybe we could do this. We'll do int max number of recruits equals but we want to do the min? No. We want to do, what is it, max, fuck. And then it's 0. Max gets you returns the larger of the 2 values. So it's either, if this is a negative, yeah, that's what we want. And then we'll do max number here. I just think this will probably look a little cleaner, a little less confusing. So let's say this is -3, it's going to give us a 0. If this is 25, it will give us 25, whatever. So that should work there. I'm not even going to bother. I'm so confident, I'm not even going to bother testing it, which is going to be a catastrophe later. I don't have permission to merge the main, huh? Or to close that ticket. Troop list, recruit troops. So originally we're gonna have these separate things, but they're now the same. I opened this on January 11th. Fuck you, Josh. Past Josh. All right, well, now we're gonna merge this shit to main. Actually, we gotta export it first. We always export. I don't have like an export thing over here. Hey, look at that. One of these was try pattern. I'm just going to close this because I know how it works. I don't, but we used it. Delegates. Oh yeah, we figured this out too. It was supposed to just be in process. Look at these old things, right? Right. Fuck. Let me double check the clock. Physics process will cause it to be connected to the physics. Yeah. So that was something that I was just curious. Do you know you can make a script without making a script? What do you mean? What do your words, what do any words mean? Where was that? Over here. We can close this thing. And knock a couple of these out. Manually setting the faction capital is dumb. We wrote our first interface the other day. Oh yeah, this is I think Stinklewing suggested this Notion thing, and I keep meaning to look at it, and I never did. Manually setting delegates. I need a way for the initial setting of variables to not run. Method. Maybe we can put a script that in the auto load. Yeah, that's something we kind of just. Yeah, this doesn't work either. Bumblebite, how's it going? The GD script, you can make a script built in, then it doesn't create a new script file. But it. What do you mean? You can make a script built in. That's the thing I was talking about earlier. Start tool tipping. Man, I have not done that. Unit tests. There we go. Figure out breakpoints in Visual Studio. We figured that out. That shit's done. All right. I guess I don't have an export thing. I thought I had an export thing. All right. Let's export this and see what happens. The reason I do that is because I've noticed sometimes the order of things changes. Now we need to get a template, it looks like. We'll trash this one. Best available mirror. Fixing your inventory. Had to fix your car. Like in real life. Real life is always getting in the way. Oh, you can put it directly in the scene file, you're saying here. Huh. Why? So you don't have to move it around? What are we doing here? What's this last thing? You know, Godot has been crashing more frequently, I feel like, since I went to, yeah, I think it's dead. Since I went to 4.41. Sometimes it just croaks in the, is it done? Okay. Looks like it was done. It just got a little weird. My music that you guys can't hear has stopped playing. But I actually want to go to this other thing. Yeah, the less files is actually, that kind of makes sense. There's something I have to do when we export this that's actually, it's already there, but when I send the game out, you know, like distribute the game, I'm going to have to include some things that I don't want to, like the map files and stuff. I wish I could embed all that crap. But we need to export this. Entire project. Can I delete these while I'm in here? Yeah, I like this. This folder has to go along with it. I feel a sneeze coming on here. Car needs brakes and fuel. Man. Brakes are so expensive. Actually, everything car related is so expensive. I feel like throughout my life, I haven't owned a car for years, and one of the reasons is because every car I've had has been a piece of shit, and it just constant issues. All right, let's see how this thing runs here. What's this one doing in here? What is this? Oh, this must have been when I uploaded it last time. 2 months ago? Oh yeah, tires. Yeah, tires are so expensive too. We're gonna run this with the console. Everything about them is expensive. Gas. And every time that there's an emergency, the thing fucking breaks down. So what are we testing here? We need to test the hero subordinates. And hey, look, this person can have 10. Fuck it, right? Let's Oh, that's not that big of a deal. We just need to change that max number there. Um, didn't I say I was so confident we didn't need to test that shit? It was actually, that was a different thing. But we need this needs to also the spin box is in here, I believe. I don't remember what did I call it. The spin box could be in that other thing. Number of subordinates spin box. Number of subordinate spin box. I think it's it's max value or something. Equals. I mean, we can just make this a number as well. Well, we'll do that. Max subordinate number of recruits. Sure. And we're gonna do this. The wait, you got your brakes refurbished? I feel like that's something that they wouldn't do anymore. I'm out of the car loop. And then we'll do this here. And then missing a comma. Sure, just fix it, man. I don't care. Then we're going to close this because that was wrong. We're going to rerun this and we're going to test it. And then we're going to export it again. You know the cheat's still in here, by the way, where you always win all your battles. Probably should have turned that off. And I probably should automate the whole thing instead of a 5. Okay, so yeah, that's set to 5. We can't go above 5. Can we go below? No. All right. So that's what we wanted. Now we'll export this again. Maybe we should fix that cheat thing. Who knows where the fuck that code is, though? Oh, you refurbish them yourself. Nice. So I've helped many people work on cars, and I've worked on my own cars a little bit, but I've helped many people. It's probably I've helped more than I've worked on my own cars, and that is one of the things that I do not find any enjoyment. Like there's definitely, so I get satisfaction for the problem being fixed, but it's not, they're banging your knuckles on shit, covered in fucking oil and grease and stuff laying on the ground. You got your face next to something. The whole thing just sucks. Uh, what was I going to do? Fix the morale cheat. I'm trying to think where I put that thing, though. It's probably under, like, war or battle. Probably not under battle. How about war? Not under either one of those. We're going to fix that shit. Yes, exporting, I mean, it's not a demo. A demo is too generous. But every time I push to main, I export it now so that if someone, I mean, you can download it and play it, but it's not fun and it's not really a game yet. But we're getting closer, getting much closer. I feel like pretty soon I'll be able to say, like, this is a game that you can play that's not fun. Right now, I gotta say, this is a thing that's not a game that you can play that's not fun. But one day I'll be like, this is a game that you can play that's not fun. The distinction is that if I say it's a game or not. Yeah, I don't remember where this thing was, and I don't think I called it cheat. I do know that there is this something. It has something to do with the morale bonus. Now, like, current morale is set. Morale expendable equals 100 or something. Hey, what's this? Nope. And what it does is that every day, every hour, you know what we could check is the hourly thing. If things that check every hour, hourly changed. Right. No, I keep joking to myself every time about the DLC because uh, it definitely. I feel like that's getting so bad, man. Like DLC, every single game is releasing DLC for the most minor shit. Uh, that's in the clock. Battle control. This seems possible. This is just for testing. Here it is right here. Uh, cheat. And what I should do, we'll do this right now so we don't have to go through this ever again. We're going to go in globals and we'll throw a bool in here. And there's one that's like game settings right here. Export, public, bool, win all battles. And then we'll go back over to this thing. Where the fuck was it? And we'll just say if globals instance win all battles is true, then we do this. And we save that. Yeah, they messed up the good things about deal. Yeah. The thing is, I think Paradox is. I know I shit on Paradox all the time, but I think they're one of the main. They've gotten away with it, and other companies were like, "Whoa, you can just release DLC for the same game forever and make it kind of expensive." And like it's nice that like Stellaris is still getting updates and Hearts of Iron 4 is still getting DLC, but like we've talked about many times before, it's like fucking $200 for one of those games. And everyone said just wait until it's on sale, but even then it's like, man, you have to like start putting money aside. You got to take a loan out to buy the whole game. What is this problem here? You just want this to, yeah, why is return in there? What the hell was that shit? Attribute bonus is never used. That seems like a major issue we will have to. I was just going to fix a couple of these since we were here, but we'll have to fix that. Trains with deal. It's no, you're kidding. But the thing with Paradox though is that they generally have an okay. Oh wow, look at this. This is also never used. Yeah, there's something weird about this. We've been messing with stuff and then not coming back to this battle thing. So that this actually just needed that. We're gonna have to go through this again anyways. There's a typo in here. This should be a capital B. But Paradox generally has an okay, you know, the gamers think it's okay. Typo in Word isn't. But it's a thing. What? We're gonna ignore this one. It's a thing. It's a I guess can I not ignore this? I guess we'll just add it there. Sure. Yeah, I did stay with it after. I actually like it a lot better, except for one or two things, but everything else is way better. Check if attacker learns rifle skill. Perfect. All right. So now we're gonna export it again. we'll delete these things one more time here. I mean, I guess we should delete this too, right? I'm going to rename this, actually. Oh, F2 doesn't work. Can I rename you? But yeah, I think so. I've noticed. So I do look at Reddit pretty regularly, and I have noticed though lately that Reddit has been less friendly towards Paradox. Um, yeah. I would definitely have not. I would not pay for it because I'm too cheap. Let's hit export on this one more time. I don't know what I just did here. What details? Okay, perfect. Train simulator, all DLC, total cost almost 10,000. I'm looking at that actually. I wanted to see if it what is the DLC of? Is it like trains? You're buying additional trains? Like train, because the model trains are like a huge thing. Yeah, more trains. Train simulator. I had a train set. I want the real, is it classic? Simulator. There it is. So I think that that the greed is kind of showing with Paradox, and that's probably part of the reason why people are getting less and less. Also because their DLCs has kind of sucked, and actually Victoria 3, CK3 isn't as wildly popular as their old ones used to be. Oh, you gotta run around and actually do like, whoa! I thought this was like you build a train track. Oh, wait, is this a different game? Like, what is this? Because this will tell us what. Oh, it is the no. Classic. Yes, it is the classic. It's a different. Why is it called classic? Yeah, so this is where you are just making tracks and stuff. No, you can drive it. For Paradox, Bumblebite. Yeah, so you just buy more trains. So I had like a train set that my dad gave me that I was looking at one day that had been sitting in my basement for 20 years. And it had like oh yeah, holy shit. Some of these are on sale. It's on sale, but it's normally $40. Oh my god. You're fucking kidding me. Is this like a place, or is this the type of train? Oh, so this is the route. Oh my god. You know how many fucking train routes there are in Europe? Like there's only like 7 in the United States, so that'd be easy. You could get all that DLC. But in Europe, they're like, the whole place is trains. Holy fuck. Huh. Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder how many people own all of the DLC. But anyways, I'm gonna take a break in a second here. But I had a train set that my dad gave me years ago, and it was sitting in my basement for 20 years, and I was looking at it, and it was just taking up room, and I was like, some kid would enjoy this way more than me because I'm never gonna. I was like thinking maybe I should set it up. Um, uh, and I was like, I'll never set this up. And so it was old. It was like, as a kid, I played with it a bunch. So it was missing parts, but it was one of those train sets that like people collect. I was going to try to Google what it looked like, but there's like these different types of trains that like, uh, train enthusiasts collect. But it's also like kids can play, but you like plug it in to actual electricity, and there's like these copper or brass things that connect the rails so that there's like the electricity actually flows through them, and you can get a minor shock off of it. Like they're from like the 50s or 40s or 60s, some time way before mine. But like each individual in like mint condition, each individual train car is worth fucking crazy amounts of money, right? Today, like, so I had these things, and they were not in mint condition because I played with it as a kid. I fucked them all up. But I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like, some kid is gonna have a better time with this than it just, yeah, exactly, sitting in dust. So I posted it on like Craigslist or something that people can have it for free, and 10 seconds later, someone was like, "I'll take it." And they said like, me and my wife have a child and we would love it to give it to them. And I was like, sure, whatever. And they came to my door, a man and a woman, and they took it, and it was gone. And I got like tons of replies, and I replied to each person and said, nah, it's already gone, it's already gone. Or maybe it was like Facebook, maybe it was Facebook, and I replied to all the people and said, it's already gone. One person said, well, you need to give me something else for free. And I was like, fuck you. But anyways, the long story short here, or long story long. Later, I was thinking, like, I was reading on Reddit like a year later, and someone was talking about a similar thing where they gave away stuff and then they saw it sold on Facebook Marketplace. And I totally think that because there was something weird off about the married couple that who had a kid. Um, I think they probably just like cleaned up all the parts and sold it, for a couple $100 or something. And I was just like, man, they probably never even got to a kid. It's probably, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Well, at least it got to a kid. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break though, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. And let me stop or put on my break timer and stop my music here, and then we'll test the export. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Let me start my music here. Let me turn off my break timer. Yeah, I felt like I was. Whoops, not the camera. There we go. Look on Steam at Spooky Min. So these are the boots I was talking about earlier. Can you guys see these? This is the inside of the boot. It has the fucking buckle on the insides. Like, how did they miss that? They're supposed to go on the outside. So this is, the inside of your boot. How would you, what? Like, have you ever seen a boot? And I like I said, I think like it makes me wonder if I'm insane. And there are some that have the buckle on the inside, but that doesn't make any sense. It's always on the outside because your things would click together. You would hit them, and then they're also like if you put them on, they totally look like clown shoes. Like it doesn't look that bad until you put them on, but they're like yeah, it's very strange. Like if you ever seen boots that are engineer boots, like here I'll take off one. So they go on the outside. See, like here's the boot. Outside. It's crazy. Like, look at any picture of a boot. It's on the outside. And like, I don't even know how, like I said, how it would pass through. And I also think they're the wrong size. I wonder if it says on here. I think that, so I have this theory about ordering stuff that when they get something shitty, they just send that shitty thing to the next person and hope that they accept it, and they just keep sending it to the next person and the next person. I have boots inside? Oh yeah, I wear my shoes inside. I know I'm a disgusting human. What am I looking at? Spooky Min. I wanted to look at that video too. Spooky Man. Is this one of those? I'll have it blocked. I have it ignored. Is this one of those ones that's like they're just outrageously expensive for no apparent reason? Look how it's got upvotes though. Mostly positive. $200. What is it? So I'm in the basement right now while that construction was going on, so I started wearing my boots more inside. Because I'm like down and the floor is cold down here and whatnot. There's a lot of these detective games. Did we export this? I'm gonna look at that video, but I wanted to make sure that we did, and we deleted that thing. I just wanted to make sure we had a nice, fresh one of those. Let's look at that video that Stinklewings posted 2 hours ago that I ignored. We can get this train simulator thing out of here, if I can find it. Somewhere. It's somewhere back in my chat somewhere. Here we go. Let me stop my music. Oh wait, we already saw this one. It's some sports thing. No, this is this is the Gators. So we're back to Gator talk. But I don't understand the they're saying it's on. I don't understand sports stuff. Like what's going on there? It doesn't, the group think. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't understand it. All right, this time I did turn off my music or the sound again. Yeah, well, I mean, he was redoing the whole bathroom. He fucked my house up. It's so bad. Like every day I find some new thing that I'm unhappy about. I'm wondering, that Fetterman guy? He's like a senator or something. And he was in some like horrific accident. And yeah, exactly. The bathroom thing. Fetterman, he was like a liberal, and he was in some horrific accident, and then like he got brain damage, and now he's like acting insane, and they're like his staffers are writing articles, or they're writing articles about him, I guess they're not writing the article, but all right, 7 looks good. But they're, yeah, like something. He lives like in a car accident. I don't know actually what originally where he got damaged. Um, but now he's like kind of crazy and right wing. And there was like a list of his symptoms of what changed about him. And the list of symptoms were very similar to the guy who worked at my house. And I was wondering if that guy had a stroke or something and his brain got fucked up. Um, the guy at my house who worked at my house. So this looks like it's all working. Let's check. You're on service. Is everybody on service? Let's move them somewhere. How many? We got 7 of them. So this should go down by 7, but they should not add up here. We never tested this other thing we're about to do here too. Okay, so that went down by, well, okay, the leader as well. And it did not go up, which is what we want. But then it should go up over here. We didn't test this. And it did. So this all works. Yep. Let's make sure that we should have tested this before I exported it. Let's see what they're doing here. That all looks good too. Yeah, so the symptoms of Fetterman were surprisingly similar. The Fetterman guy, I don't know when he had his accident. Fetterman, it's brain damage. Oh, it was a stroke. So he had a near fatal stroke. I don't know when it happened, but it was definitely a while ago. So I'm wondering if that happened too, because it's crazy similar. I guess Fetterman has like kind of a problem with, he thinks people are like kind of out to get him or something. Like not out to get him. Like why has everyone changed how they act to me and I haven't changed at all? And that's kind of exactly how this guy is too. He's like, I haven't changed at all, but everyone else is treating me differently. And he's wildly changed. He's, from what I knew him before, and when my friend was saying, my friend said he's never heard him raise his voice, and he was upstairs working and like cussing and screaming and shit, just like flipping out. And yeah, so there's something has gone wrong. He's either that or he's just a piece of shit. And I keep trying to think that he's yeah, I keep trying to have empathy for him when I shouldn't. I should just be like, yeah, fuck that guy. Like there's, because yeah, he's just over the, he tried to walk back some of his crazy insane statements too. We need to push this. So what do we need to do here? We need to push this code. Hero subordinates are now getting recruited and entering service. This is exactly what we wanted to do. We're going to commit and push this. And yeah, so he must have at some point thought about all of his insane statements, and he tried to walk it back, and he started telling me he was a centralist. So he does insane right wing stuff. And there we go. And so the other thing, he also listens to like a bunch of right wing streamers, actually. Asmon Gold is one of them. And so it's either that or like, so it's either he's had a stroke or he's easily influenced. He has this weird thing. I don't want to talk about this guy all the time, like constantly, but he keeps coming back up. He has this weird thing that is, if anyone who says they're an authority says something, he believes it. Like he doesn't question it at all. in like they like so outrageous statements that right-wing people say. He's like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that was true," and it's like you, what? That's obviously not true. What would you guys do if you lost like a lot of your cognition, brain damage? I would totally cut, like for a living, or just. And when you say cut grass, you know, it's not a euphemism for something else, right? You're meaning like mow lawns for a living, or is that like commit suicide? All right, so we gotta bundle this up here, our compiled thing, because it's working. Yeah, it's weird. We're gonna use the normal. We're not gonna use this one. We're gonna use the Sin 2. Did I use this one last time though? You see what you mean? You're not beating around the bush there. Um, yeah, if you could get the work. I actually had a guy come cut my grass when I first moved in here. Um, I think he had brain damage. speaking, speaking. So when I first moved in here, my neighbor was all over my shit about my yard not being. I was low on the property value, um, and so and then a different neighbor came over and said like, "Hey man, I'll cut your grass for $20." And I was like, "That sounds like a great deal." And he's like, "I'll go grab my lawnmower right now and I'll do it." And he did the front, which is like postage stamp size. It's very small. And then he went into the back and he did that, but it took him a really long time. And the back is also pretty small. And then he like knocked on my door, and I'd already given him the $20 because I was willing to gamble that he would like. I don't know, I guess he could have ripped me off for $20, but he lived down the street. It didn't. So I'd already given him the $20, and he said, "Can I have another $20?" I said, "What?" He said, "Man, your yard's a lot larger than I thought it was." And I was like, "Okay." And then I gave him another $20, and he said, "I'll come back next week." And I was like, "Nah, man, nah, no, I'm sorry." And then the guy next door told me, he was like, "You know, that guy's like has a mental had like some mental problems." And I was like, "No." And then he's like, "Why don't you hire my guy?" Because he's like, "That guy didn't do a good enough job." And so I just hired the guy next door, like the guy who he hires just so he would shut up. I sound very antisocial right now. But yeah, you know, there's the whole. Actually, a different neighbor came over, saw me outside, and came over to talk to me, and was complaining about someone else's. They weren't keeping their yard up. It's like, man, can you guys just leave that person alone and leave me alone? All right, so we gotta have a new release. We have a new release. Let's actually look at the old release though, because I need to see. We're on 0.0.6. It's not too bad. And I think every time I do this, I have to like do an edit. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. So actually, let's do this. Let's get this in here too. But yeah. So how's your project going, Bumblebite? You ready to release? Create a new release, a real release, not my like fake thing that I'm doing here. V0.0.7. I walked by a house on my way to coffee that has like a fence that's falling apart, like leaning in onto the sidewalk, like leaning over the sidewalk, and it's just filled with car parts. And then he has another car parked up on the grass in front of his house, and he has another car, and it's crazy to me that would want to like what's going on there? Like I don't, it doesn't affect my life unless it like collapses on me. 7, and I think we auto populate this. Heroes subordinates have been added. I think there was yeah, here we go. Full change log. And last time though, it was wrong. The change log, it was wrong for some reason. The problem is I haven't pushed a main yet. Let's do that. We got to do it with this. Yeah, we need to push this to main first. I fucked up because I was talking. So we need to merge this, and I don't think no, maybe I have once with Ryder. No, I don't think I ever had. No, I did once, and it was weird. It wasn't like, I just wasn't familiar with it. So we need to go to Git. We need to go to Git, and we need to go to the branches, and then this is not what I was remembering. No. So we want to, I can't right click on those. There's a way, structure? No. NuGet. Nothing to do with Git though. We want to go to search for branches. Yeah, this definitely looks different than. I can't write. Okay. Update push. Checkout. Merge main into. No. So what we need to do is we need to switch to this one. Is that checkout? I think that's checkout. Because we want hero subordinates to merge into main. In Visual Studio, I didn't have to like, I just double clicked on it. So that's what I was been talking about that a lot lately is I would be stuck doing like completely, I would still be on the top bar, working on the top bar if I kept doing everything I wanted to be to have it work how I want it to. And I'm starting to like understand more of why like you run into finished games, or not finished, they're release games. They have like a bunch of weird things on it because you gotta keep moving forward. At least for me, I gotta keep moving forward. I think it's checkout. I gotta keep moving forward. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be stuck working on the same thing forever, and it's already so bad, where it takes me forever to get one little part done because I'm doing what. Oh, I should have probably closed this. Oh, look at that. Look at the. I don't think I messed with that. It's because I had that open. I shouldn't have done that. Now I've fucked something up. So we're back to here. We go get branches, then rebase main, merge heroes into main. I hope I'm doing this right. Okay, your local changes to the following files will be overwritten by merge. I want it smart merge. Your local changes to the following files will be overwritten by merge. Well, there should be a hell of a lot more than this. Oh, that was just the ones with a problem, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I did merge this to main before. Shoulder tapping? Because somebody comes up and it has you do something else or continue working on something, or like do more on that feature. Is it because of is that like feature creep and all that? Merge, it's got to be this one. These ones don't matter because we're actually overwriting those. I guess we just got to do it. I pushed, didn't I? Yeah, I pushed it to that. So we could go back to there if something terrible is about to happen. Cannot find the files to patch. I don't give a shit about that one. I don't care about that one. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. So these are all in the .godot. Apply. I guess we're just going to see what happens here. Roll back. I don't care. I don't care about these at all. Just get them the fuck out of here. Yes. It's going to be a bunch of these, right? Where they just focus on systems and code. So something didn't work here. Sorry, So did this actually work though? I don't think this worked. Something bad happened here. Let's close this and reopen it without. We still have, like, this is safe, so we don't have to worry about. Definitely, so I definitely feel like you need breaks a lot with programming. At least for me, I notice that when I'm offline, I take way more breaks and I think about stuff while I'm out having a smoke or something. And it definitely helps. Think about something else helps me adjust things. So it's only having us commit 2. So why did the merge break? What is this structure crap? That can go. It only could get through 2? I don't really want to fuck up main. First attempt to merge hero subordinates. I don't know how, like, I don't know how to reflect. Not like, oh, I'm gonna go switch to a different thing, like, but to reflect on whatever I've ran into. Like, sometimes I'll be like, I'll write something and I'll be like, this is pretty good. I think there's a better way to do it. Then I'll go have a smoke and while I'm smoking, I'll be like, yeah, there is a better way. And I'll, like, kind of think through, then I'll come back and I'll change all this stuff. Okay, so this has all of these. So this is interesting. So, like, some of this must have broke. 2 files committed, first attempt. Let's see what happens. They're definitely not deleting hero subordinates branch until we have. Yeah, so this 22 commits. That seems about right. No, like if so, I guess occasionally I'll go out and have a break, and I'll be like, I don't want to work on this part, and then I'll go in and switch. But no, I don't think that would be the main goal. That definitely has happened though. I've been like, I kind of want to do the combat, go back to working on combat, and then I'll like go. But uh, now let's check online GitHub here and see what this says here. Okay, so this should have had, yeah, like 1 minute ago to the scripts. So now let's reopen this and make sure that we don't have some sort of implosion. And I'm gonna delete that other weird branch that's still floating around. But I'm gonna keep hero subordinates around just in case. What I've done is, because this happened one other time on Visual Studio, I fucked something up, and it, like, I started merging onto the wrong branch, or started working on the wrong branch, and I had to like merge stuff and manually go through and like fix things because I didn't know what I was doing. We lost our .godot folder because this is over here. But we took all that time to make that not matter. That's why I kept saying earlier that that doesn't matter. Because we took a lot of time to make it so the .godot folder could get fucked. That looks right. Two things the same day. So all of my things that I work on offline, which is not that frequently, but when I do it, it's usually very small things. I have like a small, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to work on, let's pretend that I was doing this. I'd be like, I'm going to work on so that I can look at scavengeable resources. And then I just do that real quick. And then I'll be like, I still feel like programming. Let's add population in, you know? So the same day I don't usually jump between projects at all, or even between, I wouldn't do like this and then be like, now let's switch over to here. I usually am in that mindset of whatever I'm working on, except for when I said I'm like, I don't want to work on this stupid UI. I want to have some combat or something, All right, let's test this thing. So now my wonder here, how many did we do? 8. Now my wonder here though is this gonna get, because I'm not uploading the .godot folder, if this is gonna get messed up every time. I merge to main. Service. Everybody's on service. Let's spawn you. I said let's spawn you. Why can't I spawn you? There we go. What the hell is going on there? I don't know what's going on there. Yep, you got a bunch of people. So this works. Let's export this again because we are on a different branch now. It shouldn't really matter. We could just delete. Let's delete all this shit. What'd you say about file system? I guess you won't go away, huh? All right. Well, we can deal with you over here. You're a professional programmer though, right? If I remember correctly. I know my memory is terrible. Oh, it's because I was in that folder. Let's delete this. Let's delete this. And we'll just have our maps. The maps definitely has to stay there. And then we'll save. Yeah, I would be curious. I wish I could like be a fly on the wall for like a professional game developer and see how shit works for them. We're gonna double check that this works. Yeah, so you have like the experience of what is expected and whatnot. I've been training a new IT person to help me at my job. Like they're just part-time help me while they have other things. And then I'm surprised. I'm not surprised because of their lack of knowledge, but surprised about what they thought I did. That makes sense. Like I would be like, all right, today we're gonna set up a user, and they're like, great. And then after we'd been through 50 different admin panels, they're like, "You do this for every person?" Like, yep. So like that type of thing. So whatever they had in their head was not what the IT guy does, you know. All right, we're up to 3. We're gonna do one more. Let's see if that. All right, you know what? 3 is good enough. Are they on service? We'll move them over here. There we go. Yep. Yep. Perfect. All right. So this works. Well, now we'll compress this again. We'll delete this. We'll compress this with the Windows built-in one. What are you doing? Why are you taking so long? All right. Yeah, you know, she is taking the amount of crazy broken admin panels quite well. Every panel we go to, Microsoft is the vast majority of them, but every single panel has some weird broken thing. And so she's learning a lot, but like she's taking the things that I think most people would just be like, "Fuck you, this panel's broken." Too, there's all these workarounds, you know. I'll be like, "Oh yeah, you hit this button, and then after it loads and gives you an error, you go to this other thing, and then you can do it." And she's like, "What? Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then she does it, and it works that way. And I'm like, "But you could try it the other way just to see if it, the other way works." And then that way doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like and I think that'd be extremely. If I didn't slowly, because we switched from having servers to not having servers, and so I was part of the whole process. So I've accepted that that's how it is. All these broken things. Um, if I had come into it brand new and remember that. If I'd come into it brand new, I would have been very skeptical that any of this shit would work at all ever because of how every goddamn admin panel is broken. And I even like as I was showing her stuff, I would be like, start explaining to her how this admin panel was broken too, and she would be like, "Oh, this is kind of broken like that other one," and they'd be completely different companies. And after I had explained like the 10th broken admin panel, I was like, "Is every single one of these goddamn admin panels broken?" Yes, the answer is yes. Every admin panel I work with at my job is broken in some way. All right, we've done it. We got the source code. That wasn't 9 minutes ago, though. Let's see what this says. Let's see where we're at. Moved tokens. Oh, yeah, we moved the actual tokens. And some of the broken admin things that I'm talking about, they're very minor, but they're surprising. This one admin panel, you create like a group. We'll call it a group. And it doesn't require you to put in an address for where the group is, right? Makes sense? If you edit the group, it requires you to put in an address of where the group is. And I opened a support ticket with them, and I said, "It's got to be one or the other, man. You either require it or you don't require it." And they started arguing with me, and I was like, "I don't care. I can work around it." But like, look at how dumb that is. I obviously was much more diplomatic, but it's like little things like that. It's just like, Was that? That was 9 minutes ago. I guess maybe it was. That was, I guess, yeah, redoing those little things did take 9 minutes. All right, so there we go. We got that. Like it's not a big deal that the address is there or not there. It's just why would you not have it? Well, I think I wonder because I actually like a long time ago complained to our sales guy. I was like, I know you can't do anything about your admin panel, but it is busted and it's a mess. Um, I would show you guys how bad it is, but it has all my work information on there because it's crazy. Um, and I bet you the developers who are developing it are getting the tap on the shoulder that you were talking about, and they're like, someone's like, oh, you got to change this thing, you got to add this thing instead of it almost seems like I programmed it. Where they started out making something just on a whim. They were just like, oh, um, you know, one guy told them to do one thing and one guy told them to do another thing. Okay. So that was, we actually pushed the main today. I'm pleased with that. We're going to delete this other branch though. Not the subordinates one, this inventory one. Yeah, because that one's, so I think what happened here was this is when I accidentally was like working on a different branch. So we don't need that one anymore. Let's delete it over. Oh, what's this now? Why would the fish change? Why are the fish changing? Oh, they might have got a different, is this actually them? No, it is. I wonder why this changed. What branch are we on? We're on main. I wonder if they got a new, well, this main scene changed too. That's possible. It could totally be. I'm back to that they didn't want to pay for the fixes. Um, that could totally be. So that's one of the things too that I've noticed is a lot of the companies, if it's barely working, that's good enough for them because they don't have to like you were saying like they don't have to pay to have it updated, and but they're still getting my money. You know what I mean? Um, I want to look at this. Yeah, what changed here? GD resource load step. What is this shit? I guess it's already okay. So the UID here looks like it probably changed. No, that looks the same. Yeah, are you worried about AI? I should be asking this more frequently of other people, of everyone. That's not what changed, I don't think. What changed? What are we comparing here? Because this is wait, script class good data is not in here. So this hmm. I bet you a version of Godot added this script class thing. But then what changed with the main? Oh, look at this. It had a, this is that population thing I was talking about earlier. It's like they changed some of this path and stuff, huh? Um, I know that my not fear of it, my concerns about AI are less and less every day because um Mowing lawns. We'll be mowing lawns because AI will take over. No, because the more I use AI, I think it's going to hit a limit, and it already is, and it's not. The limit isn't very good. What is this shit? Let's not push this to main. Let's do a new branch. Let's look at what we're going to do. I'm going to call it a day in a second here, but let's look at what we're going to do next, because we just finished hero subordinates, and so we should be getting close to exploration. This is done. Exploration of a county. And so we'll have a new branch. Oh, I meant to delete that one branch out of here real quick. Let's do this before I get sidetracked. This one, I just want to delete you. Okay, then we're going to do it, a new branch. What is this song? Oh, this is a TSOL song. You guys can't hear it, but yeah, I think that's the thing, is I think it does have its uses, but I think a lot of people are running into the limitations of it. And like someone said on my Discord that they use it for like their cover letters and stuff. Like for shit like that, it's great. Cover letters for their resume and whatnot. One of my coworkers uses it for like Excel. What are those things called? Formulas. So kind of like programming. It's very similar to programming. He says like it's really good for that. Expressions, yeah, the expressions. And he says it's like getting even. He said like 5 months ago it could not nearly do as good as it currently is, and he just asks a question and it spits out the whole thing and copies and pastes it. Dude is like a crazy Excel guy too. Like all of his Excel things, they have like a GUI and stuff as Excel files do, which always makes me laugh, that he spends so much time on there, and like everyone like uses them throughout the whole company, whatever. He's an accountant. And so I think like that the jobs will be lost, but not as many as we thought. Okay, let's switch branches here. I don't know if these changes are going to come over. They should, right? We want a new branch called Hero. No, let's call it County Exploration Checkout Branch. And then I'll commit these weird things. I don't know what this shit is. In fact, I'm going to put that. I don't know why this changed. I bet you it's like Maine or something had. I don't know. Who fucking knows? I've never used Grok, and I don't plan to, because it's an Elon Musk thing. Anything Elon Musk related, I avoid. And probably I should stop saying stuff like that, because they're gonna use AI to track down any anti-Elon Musk people and ship them to El Salvador here in a second. Okay, so everything's done there. Let's see what else we got. I recently tried to tell a human female to define picture tag. Not my fault. Is that from Grok? Oh, I still am. He's an absolute piece of dog shit. Yeah, there's gonna be problems with that guy. The authoritarian. Yeah, that guy's one of the many downfall of the United States. He can be part of the list, but like I said, they gotta. Yeah, like I said, probably don't want to be publicly saying that stuff anymore. The fascism is strong. All right, what are we doing? We're finishing up here. We have pushed to main. All that stuff's good. We did this. This is actually good, though. I don't know what that one change was. We'll find out tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday or Sunday. I mean, but let's find somebody to raid. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, look, my auto mod actually blocked some of those buy viewer sales thing. Raid. Who we got? Following. I don't. Oh, there's we should raid, since I was just talking about at the beginning of the stream we were talking about Conrad. I was telling him about that I played his game. We should raid him. Just because I was talking about his game and I showed his game. So yeah, thank you guys for dropping by. I will talk to you tomorrow. In a couple of weeks, I'm not going to be here on the weekend because I gotta go to a wedding. But for now, we're good to go. I start my outro too early. There we go. So now we're fine. All right. Talk to you guys next time. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.